lost my job, could have lost my mind. But God stepped right in the nick of time. It was nobody but Jesus pulling on me. Oh, thank you, Lord. One more thing, y'all. Situations, sometimes in life, they get too hard to bear. But tell somebody it was Jesus pulling on me, pulling me through. Then you gotta think about it. There's no way that I could have made it this far without Jesus holding my hand. When I'm at my weakest, His strength.
KGLD 1330 AM, K285GY 104.9 FM, Tyler.
It's your girl, Michelle D.I., Mrs. Divine Intervention herself. To all my helper bees out there, you know who you are. Those that are always helping everyone else and neglecting yourself. Yes, boo, look in the mirror. I'm talking to you. Here to let you know God has not forgotten about you. I've been sent on divine assignment. It's time for Reflections Choosing Me Guilt-Free. That means 30 minutes for your mind, your body, spirit, and emotions. And don't act like you don't have time. You have time for everyone and everything else. Sit back and relax, because if you're here, that means this show is for you, or it's for someone you know. But most likely, it's for both of y'all. Deep breaths, love. Let's go. Well, hey family, hey family, hey family. It is your girl, Michelle Allen Franklin. Yes, Mrs. Michelle D.I. Why? You know, boo, for divine intervention, because there are no coincidences in this world. Only God's divine intervention in our lives. And Mrs. Community Builder, why? Because you know your girl's going to give you the good information, the things you need for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotions. And family, you know, if you hear my voice, it's Monday, boo. Yes, it's Monday, and Reflections Choosing Me Guilt-Free. We on the radio. Yes. The year is rolling on by, y'all. It is November the 10th. Oh, my goodness. It's about to be Christmas time. I saw people putting up Christmas music. People are playing, putting up the trees. All of the decorations are already up. Thanksgiving has not come yet. My baby girl loves Halloween, y'all. She is a creative. She is, this is my creative mind child. She is artsy and all of the things, and she likes to create her own characters and things like that. And so I talked to y'all a little bit about it. But she brings, you know, her characters and things to life during this time of the year, and so, or for Halloween. And so we saw Christmas trees up and in the stores, you know, decorations and things on sale. Sam's had shifted the store around and all of the things the week before Halloween. And my child said, "Mama, this is just disrespectful." They haven't even let Thanksgiving come yet. I said, honey, it is coming. So we just got to get ready, don't we, family? We just have to get ready. And as I thought about, you know, we're on this self-love journey, right? We've been on this self-love journey for this ending part of the year, these past couple of months. We have been going on. There are, the holidays are coming up. And there are some people that, you know, it's just not happy about the holidays coming. Like, you know, everyone is always, you know, pretending to be, I think, in a good mood and a good, you know, in a good light. But everyone is not happy. And daylight savings time happened in the last couple of weeks. And I just wanted to talk about that because some people are feeling some kind of way and may not really understand why they're feeling that way. Because the holidays can be like emotional triggers, right? And so it is a thing. It's not you. You're not crazy. You're not, nothing is wrong with you. It is just sometimes being as though the traditions come, right? Things that you're used to doing, people that used to be around may not be around anymore. Things have shifted. And so they call this seasonal affective disorder, where you might start feeling a little sad around this time, or you might get a little moody, right? Or you might feel, just be feeling some kind of way and not really know what it is. It is called, again, seasonal affective disorder. So I just wanted to shed some light on this because, again, I know that it happens. And then sometimes it is the change of season. They've talked about not switching the time back because a lot of people, may suffer from this because it's getting darker earlier and just not having the sunlight, and it makes you feel a kind of way. So the two kind of overlap. And so it is the subconscious grief and anger that happens during the holidays. And then you have the seasonal depression that kind of emerges with time. That's known as a seasonal affective disorder. So let's just break it down a little bit and talk about it. So why do our emotions shift during the holidays? So again, the holidays stir emotional memories, right? Both joyful and painful. The subconscious mind is kind of recalling losses, disappointments, unfulfilled expectations. I've been getting a lot of phone calls. Y'all know I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 25 years. I've been getting a lot of phone calls these past couple of weeks of people that are beginning to have anxiety, right? Anxiety attacks. They're having panic attacks during the day. They don't know what it is. They just know that they're feeling some kind of way. I feel different. I'm having this shortness of breath. I can't breathe. I was walking. I was fine. I don't know what it is. Maybe is it stress? Sometimes it can be stress induced, right? A lot of them are like, I'm under this strain and stress at work. And, I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed and I'm beginning to have panic attacks. But along with that, as I begin to talk to them, they have an anniversary of someone's passing that have come up. So just the other night, I'm talking to a man and his wife is in the background. And I said, sometimes this happens in the subconscious mind when you have some grief there. And his wife says his mom had passed that Monday. I probably was talking to him on a Thursday. And she was like, his mom passed this week. This is her anniversary passing. And he's just thinking at his work. But the subconscious mind, y'all, we talk about this a lot. And that is why, right? So the brain often replaces sadness with anger or irritability because that emotion feels safer or more in control. This is a thing with men as well. This is a very, very big thing with men. Let me say that again for the people in the back. The brain often replaces sadness. Y'all don't want to deal with that sad emotion. Y'all men really don't. Women, we can kind of sit in it and deal with it a little bit more than you guys. But that replaces sadness with anger and irritability because that emotion feels safer or more in control. So you may notice that you're having more arguments with your loved ones at this time. If they may isolate, or just this passive aggressive energy around this time. And that is how grief shows up. It shows up in disguise. And so understanding that anger is a bodyguard for grief, right? It keeps the sadness from being seen because, again, we don't want to admit that we're sad. And so we kind of show up angry. So giving people some grace is a really, really big thing to do during this time. I have some family members and things are happening and they just, they come off really, really just irritable and angry and argumentative. And it's painful, right? It's very, very painful because it's no reason for the anger to come towards me or anyone, really, or anyone else. And so it doesn't stop it from hurting. I'm gonna just be very transparent because it does hurt, right? It hurts your feelings. But at the same time, I have to go back, take a breath. I have to say to my daughter sometimes, go back, take a breath. Baby, that's not them. They're going through something right now. You may not automatically know what it is, but again, it is extending grace because it is so much easier to be angry than to say that I'm just sad or I'm feeling some kind of way. So number 2, the role of time change in darkness. And so when the time shifts and the days get shorter, your body, your circadian rhythm is kind of disrupted, right? And so less sunlight means less serotonin because we get those happy endorphins from the sun, right? And so you feel good. Think about in the summertime, in the spring, you just naturally feel good. The sun is out, everybody's outside, people are showing up. You just feel better, right? And when it's warmer outside, so those natural endorphins are not being released, right? Those feel good emotions. There's more melatonin is produced, right? Making you feel sluggish, unmotivated, or depressed. So you think about melatonin is what our body naturally produces at night when it's time for us to go to bed. It releases, help us to relax and go to sleep. And so you think about it's getting darker earlier. And so it's easier for, your body to start producing that melatonin earlier. And then you're feeling sluggish. You're not feeling motivated. You're maybe starting to feel a little depressed. And so this combination is what's called and leads to the seasonal affective disorder. It is a real treatable form of depression that peaks in the fall and into the winter, late fall and into the winter. And so these are some common symptoms. You might feel fatigued. You might be oversleeping. You might have cravings for carbs or whatever your comfort foods, right? You may just isolate. People that are all of a sudden that were social, all of a sudden now they're just not. People disappear for periods of time. I do this not knowingly, like it's not conscious, y'all. But I do this where I just kind of hibernate. I will just kind of disappear and I have to come back. Like I have friend groups, where we kind of check in with each other and I'll realize that it's been 5 or 6 days since I've checked in, right? And I've done this since the time has changed. I literally just checked in this morning, just to be completely transparent. Hadn't been in the friend group since last Wednesday. And so it's not purposeful, right? But it's just something that you're not even conscious or aware that you're doing. And so, but if you know that somebody is doing this, just go reach and grab them. Like my friends will give me some time, right? And they're like, okay, we know she might be going through, they give me a couple of days, but then they're like, my sister friend said today, hey, if I didn't see you today, I was going to call you, right? And so it's okay to just go grab them, right? So the isolation or loss of interest in things that you usually enjoy. If there's sadness or irritability, these are common symptoms of seasonal affective disorder. If there's sadness, irritability, or emotional numbness, like you just really don't care about anything, about what's going on. You don't really care about what's happening. Feeling off, but not knowing why. Feeling off, but not knowing why. These are all common symptoms of seasonal affective disorder. And so when the darkness comes earlier, it mirrors the emotional darkness that's in this unresolved grief that can carry during the holiday season. And then it may magnify. And so everyone around you, right, seems like they're joyful, but you're battling this internal heaviness. And so the disconnect kind of happens because you really don't want to bring anybody else down. And so you really do like, well, let me just stay. I know I feel that way. Like I don't want to, I'm feeling some kind of way and everybody's happy. Right. So let me not come around with my little gloomy self. And I'm generally happy. And so when I'm not happy, it's very recognizable in my spirit. So when you're not happy, you recognize these things. So you don't want to bring other people down, but the disconnect also breeds shame. It breeds frustration. It breeds guilt that then turns into anger or withdrawal. Because again, you're not wanting to feel this way, right? And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. So here are some coping and healing practices to just you have to be intentional. Those are my words. Like, when I started this healing journey, one of the things that I realized is that I just have to be intentional and also giving yourself some grace because these things come and go. So sometimes I feel like, oh man, I'm in a great space. You might see me. I'm out. I'm laughing. I'm doing things. And then I'm not. Right. And then you may not want to do and you may not feel. And it isn't so right in your face where you recognize it right away. And so just being intentional about these little healing practices. And so getting natural light daily. This is one thing that I realized I'm just going to have to incorporate into my life is just getting natural light daily, going outside for a 30-minute walk. It does help to reset the serotonin and the mood and just your mood, right? Moving your body for 10 to 15 minutes. I've started just watching old videos because that makes me happy. Watching videos from my childhood because my knees are a little jacked up right now, so I can't dance like I used to dance, but I love dancing. And so watching old videos because your girl, I know y'all have heard me say this before, but if you knew, you may not have. Your girl knew all of the videos to all of the dances in the 90s. That's just my superpower. Is knowing all of the dances to all of the videos. And so that was my thing, is learning all of those dances. So I get up now and I may not be able to do them how I used to do them, but your girl has still got it a little bit. I still got it. Just a little bit. But I get up, even while I'm at work now, I'll put, some old videos on. I loved MC Hammer. And so there was Hammer before, if give me a minute for some people that may not know, but for the people that know, y'all, listen. Hammer before You Can't Touch This, like all of the 357 and BNGP. Oh my goodness. Those were my videos. It was amazing watching those videos and doing all the dances. So who is in the middle, in between my calls, doing all the Hammer old videos? It's me. Yes. It makes me happy. So again, let me come back. Healing practice. Moving your body, even 10 to 15 minutes of stretching, y'all, dancing, walking, just releasing that emotional tension can boost your endorphins. Okay, this is huge. I'm always talking about this, y'all, being honest about your emotions. So journaling is always on the list. Praying, or even just talking to someone who allows you to feel without fixing. Let me say this again for the people in the back. I said feel without fixing. One of the best things that you can do if you know somebody, if you're not the person, but you know somebody, this is your mother, brother, sister, cousin, friend, right? You know someone. You do not, it is not your job to fix them. Right? My friends don't try to fix me. My therapist is not trying to fix me, right? That's my responsibility, right? That's your responsibility. It's not anyone else's job to fix, but it is just to support and have that listening ear that will allow me to feel what I'm feeling without judgment, right? Without throwing a scripture on it, right? As church folks, be good for pulling up a scripture. We don't have to, to just listen and be there means so much more than anything that you can ever even imagine. To just have someone to feel seen that are going through these emotions, that's going through the grief, that's going through, right? We just want to be seen. We just want to be heard. We just want to be loved on. Just hug me, right? Just wrap your arms around and listen. It's something that you can do. So feeling without fixing is huge. The next one is honoring who or what you miss. Guys, this is so big. We just pretend as if this person who has passed away, or these people that are gone from our lives, that there's nothing that we can do about it, that's it and it's gone. And I promise you that's not true. You can create just small rituals, lighting a candle, cooking their favorite meal, writing their name on a gratitude list and just thinking of all the things that you're grateful for that person. That what did you learn? What did they deposit in your spirit? When I first started, my big mama, and I share this all the time, my big mama and my stepfather passed in 2015, and that started me on this spiral of depression, anxiety, and started having panic attacks, right? And it was around the holiday season. It was the Monday before Thanksgiving that I had my very first panic attack. And I was on my way to work. I felt fine, right? You woke me up that morning, you couldn't tell. I wasn't crying. I wasn't sad. There was nothing that was happening or going on. But I dropped my baby girl off, and next thing I know, I'm having this panic attack. And not only did I have one, I had multiple. But it started me on this journey. As I started my healing journey and started coming out of it, what I realized was that if I could focus on the things that they've done in my life, right? The things that I could be grateful for, I could just sit and see sitting on the porch with my big mama. Like it was seemingly nothing, right? But just to sit on a porch, to have my aunts and my uncles come, to have them sitting on the porch and everybody telling their stories and just listening to the laughter and joking and everything, I can appreciate that. That woman was hilarious. She was hilarious, okay? I could, I could focus on that, and I could, instead of wallowing, right? Because I was kind of wallowing, right? We wallow, just kind of stuck in that thing. We wallow in it. And so if you can write that gratitude list, what did you learn? I had to sit and think of my stepfather. Me and my stepfather had this kind of, this thing when I was younger, because I had heard it. I had did some things, right? I got pregnant at 14. I was in his house. And so you just imagine a teenager, I was lying. I had to have some lying going on, right? I was a teenager. I lied about some stuff. I snuck the boy in. That was his house. That was deceitful. That's painful for a parent, right? I had to sit in that and figure that out as an adult, because as a teenager, you're like, what's the big deal? I'm sorry. I said I was sorry, right? You don't, in your little teenage mind, you don't get it. But as a parent, right, you get it. And so going back and thinking about after he passed and looking at all of the things that this man has deposited in my life, like the way that I take care of my own children, the things that I just instinctively do, how I know I don't have a lot of money, but I'm going to go on a vacation. I know how to do that because he taught me how to do that, right? You don't have to have all the money, Shell. You just got to, plan it out. His thing was plan your work and work your plan. Okay, Dad. All right. I can do that. I don't have $1,000 to just drop on February and pick up and go and go on a plane, but I can start in August. If I want to go on a trip in December or January, I can, okay, I could do that. I can put $100 back. I can put $50 back. I could do that. I've done that. Anytime you see me with on a trip, I've done that because I ain't got it. Right? And so, but what is that gratitude list of things that you can be grateful for? The last one is, and this is just healing practices and ways to cope, is don't fake, right? Don't fake your holiday cheer, because that does something to your spirit. That does something to you when you're just faking, right? It's okay to show up real. I just need you to understand that it's okay to be sad. It has been, there's been a loss, right? There has been a shift. There has been a change. It's okay to be sad. I don't want you to stay sad. But if we don't feel the feelings, right? That's why you're having a panic attacks, because we're trying to hide. I was trying to hide my emotions. I was trying to hide, since I have been honest and transparent about what I've been going through. I have not had a panic attack. I have not had the anxiety. I'm trying to think of the year. I know it has been at least 4 or 5 years since I've had a panic attack. My last major panic attack, I was holding in emotions. I was very upset, very disappointed in situations that was going on. And I mean, could not stop, just shortness of breath and all that over and over and over again for a period of time. And it is controllable, y'all. It is something that you don't have to suffer from. So this scripture from John, verse 1 and 5, it says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Even when the days grow shorter and the spirit feels heavy, the light is within you, right? God's light is never distinguished. This weekend, I did the suicide prevention walk. It was out at UT. It was amazing. And one of the things that happens during this time is that you get that sad and you get these thoughts. And so I just want to say to anybody out there who may be feeling any thoughts or feeling any kind of way, to please know that you are not alone, that what you're feeling, it may be overwhelming, but there is light. Like you just feel like you're in darkness and there is no light. I have had suicidal thoughts. I thank God that I don't now. But 3 years ago, I was swimming in them. It was just like I was stuck there, could not get out, in the deep end, in quicksand. I feel like I was walking along and just stepped into some quicksand or something, because you don't even realize or know that all these feelings and emotions are on you like that. And then it's just there all of a sudden. And you're trying to, figure out how to get out of it. And again, shame and guilt are the worst twins, right? They're demonic. And so I always say you can combat shame and guilt with the best twins, which is grace and mercy. So give yourself some grace and give yourself that, give yourself some grace and give yourself that mercy, honey. But these are some resources just in case you are feeling some kind of way that are available right away. 988, of course, is the mental health suicide hotline that is there for any thoughts. And when you're feeling like you're in a mental crisis and don't know what to do, there is a counselor that is available 24/7 each and every day. Right? They're never closed. And so 988, a counselor will answer the phone within the minute, right? This walk that we did this weekend, it was the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Their website is AFSP, American Foundation Suicide Prevention, AFSP.org. They are amazing, phenomenal resources and just help. There are, your youth, your teenagers may be going through this, right? It is one thing to sit up and think that adults go through this, but teenagers are suffering just as much. And so I was 14 the first time that I had suicidal thoughts, right? Boys 14 to 20 are in the highest rate of suicide. And so in Texas, there is a Texas Youth Helpline. And let me see what that number is. Give me 1 second. That line is 24 hours as well. Is it going to tell me what the number is? I'm looking. Wait a minute. I'm looking. What's the number? It's 800-989-6884. That is for the teenage crisis hotline that is here in Texas, the Teenage Crisis Hotline. And then you have a local resource, which is NAMI, N-A-M-I, which is a national crisis line. There's a local chapter, but then there's a national line as well. And so www.nami.org. That is for support, education, helpline as well. And resources are there as well. Let me see if I can give you the NAMI line really quickly. The NAMI line is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And they have a national hotline. That number is 800-950-6264. And that is it for today, family. I just always say it is so much better to know that you are not alone in the situation. That is the biggest thing for you to know and understand, that you are not alone. And so I thank you, family, and I will see you next week. This has been another Divine Intervention. Thank you for tuning in to Reflections Choosing Me Guilt Free with your girl, Miss Michelle D.I. Every week, we will have the uncomfortable but necessary conversations as it relates to your mind, your body, your spirit, and emotions. You've suffered long enough. It's time to break free. So join me every Monday at 1 p.m. right here on KGLD Radio, where you can fill your spirit with gospel all day long. See you next week.
Funeral Home. Call 713-633-1421.
God bless you and Merry Christmas to you, our Gospel 1360 family. This Christmas, many of our Gospel 1360 family members will not have a Merry Christmas. These families live from day to day and can't